First up, we've got from BAE Systems, John Heffernan, head of SHE, or SHE, Safety, Health and Environment. John is the, maybe you can say that yourself, but contract management at SHE support and sustainability within BAE Systems Submarines. So you've got 5 minutes, John. Would you like to take it away?
Yeah, just can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if I you have to bear with me, first time presenting on Zoom. Yeah, so thanks for that introduction, Martin. I'm John Heffernan. I'm head of SHE for a number of activities, primarily contractor management, SHE support, and recently sustainability. So I'm going to give you hopefully an insight into BAE Systems Submarines, its corporate approach and its deliverables to achieve net zero through our submarines business. So we've developed our roadmap into 4 defined activities, scope of work. First phase is to define our net zero targets. The second phase is to our net zero roadmap, and then we achieve the net zero operating model, and then through to our implementation phase. I think I won't read out the slides verbatim, but I think it's interesting to picked up sustainability about 5-6 months ago, a recognition that we don't do this alone. It's collaboration right across our employees, supply chain, and including the local communities. It's essential for us all to work collaboratively. So we do have as a business, the 2 business objectives, and I'll go into scope 1 and scope 2, and I believe the majority of people on the call probably recognise what we're talking about there. But we'll go into that in a few more slides, and hopefully I haven't timed this. I thought it was 5-10 minutes, so bear with me, and I'll try to get through it within the allotted time. Just to give you a context of where we have to operate in, busy slide. I won't go through any detail. I just want to try and give you a little bit of a flavour for where we reside within the group corporation. So you can imagine that BAE Systems as a corporation, as a group, is a global enterprise. Our primary markets are within the UK, Australia, Saudi Arabia, rest of the world. You'll see on the left-hand side on the timeline that runs through the middle of this slide from 2021 to 2022. This is our current activities. So aligned to those current activities, we're doing a strategic review of our building portfolios. That's right across the group, across all those continents, and predominantly, which is precious to Barrow, that we're doing that review across our on-site estate and infrastructure. All UK electricity will be going green this year, and some of the other elements around the UK and looking at processing to maintain legacy systems and the fuel switch as well. Again, I won't go through the full remit there, but you'll understand that we've got some significant corporate drivers that we have to comply with. Obviously we have to accommodate our shareholder value, and thankfully for this topic, our shareholders want us to be a lot more greener, and obviously our carbon reductions to reflect that. So you've probably seen this model before, but just to articulate how this applies to BAE Systems Submarines, those activities across scope 3 and 2 and 1, what we call of our upstream activities, where it's essential that we engage with our value chain, so our procurement, capital goods, transportation, distribution, etc. The work that we're doing with our supply chain, our supply base is essential when we achieve our scope 3 for 2050. Then it comes into our operating area through scope 2 and operational directly through scope 1, so our facilities, purchase electricity company vehicles, and our direct emissions is currently what we're actively doing some working in progress on. And then the downstream through our distribution products and distribution is the third element to that. Some detail around our current roadmaps, and again, it's not specific details, and I'll canter through this, conscious of time. So we have, in essence, 6 swim lanes, or six activities headlines around reducing our energy consumption, reducing fossil fuel reliance, investing in green energy, combating our supply chain emissions, product use emissions, and then governance and planning. And where I reside, my role as head of SHE for sustainability is very much down in that bottom left corner around the governance and planning. So we've established a governance framework, a net zero project management plan to implement all of those distinct packages of work right across the profile from 2021 onwards. It needs to be embedded across quite a number of programs and their respective functions. And I think it's fair to say at this time, it's quite an interesting challenge to try and pull together quite a diverse and disparate portfolio of activities, design requirements, as well as actual operational activities as well. So there's some key steps for BAE Systems submarines in achieving our net zero. 6 elements that I've highlighted here with this slide is the reducing of energy consumption, fossil fuel reliance, and investment in green energy, etc. So reduce our energy consumption. It's quite difficult because of our manufacturing process and some of our facilities through the manufacturing and construction phase. And you'll all be aware that BAE cast this huge shadow over Barrow, and some of the skylines taken up by some of our quite large facilities. The DDH, large construction hall, the internal is fueled by gas. So you can imagine the transition we will be moving away from and reducing our carbon footprint, and that facility is not without complexities. So there's a lot of work we have to do and design and contain how we and detail how we're going to reduce that. But reducing our energy consumption, reduce our fossil fuel reliance, and part of that investment and that we're looking at is having an on-site generation capability. Now I'm not going to go into detail. That's part of what we're currently doing through our discovery phase of our roadmap, and that there's multiple non-carbon reliant activities we're currently examining and looking into. Obviously investing in our green energy, and then working with our supply chains. I hosted a really productive workshop where we had over 200 of our primary suppliers working through and communicating, engaging with them, what the type of activities we were expecting to be placing on them. So they're starting to think that through and lock that into their systems and their requirements. Looking at
John, if you can wrap it up within 30 seconds, that would be great.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you.
Managing our 5 requirements to net zero and governance through our planning activities and through our business management systems, again, is reliant on ourselves. And that's it. Thank you very much.